been a crazy weekend. You struggling, babe? I told you.
With all the shit going on in the world, I don't get a fucking chance to really fucking gossip, but Tommie Lee dating Solange's son is fucking disgusting. You are a nasty ass motherfucking woman. You mean to tell me you done ran through all the men around your age bracket that you had to go to a fucking child? Cause yes, that is a child to you. Okay, he barely a fucking adult. Like, god damn, you that fucking low?
Can y'all believe that Solange is out here catching strays from none other than her own son, Julez? Girl, there is always something happening in Beyonce's family. He's been spotted multiple times making out and partying with Tommie in public for all to see. And as expected, everyone has been asking what these two have in common to begin with. But when people brought Solange into it, Julez dismissed it all, talking about how his mom can't have a say in his life since she was never there in the first place. Girl, we haven't heard from Julez in years, and all of a sudden he's moving like this? But we gonna get into it.
Loving hip-hop star Tommie Lee. Tommie is 41, and she's rumored to be dating Beyonce's nephew and Solange's 21-year-old son, Julez. So they posted a video looking like they were making out, and then she was riding on his back. Now, Tommie called him her baby, and she said he was so fine. And I say this to you, Tommie, you better be scared to meet his mama and his auntie. Because that's Beyonce and Solange. Tommie better take the stairs. Do not get in the elevator with his mama.
Now, for those of you who are somehow out of the loop, Julez Smith went from being someone no one heard anything about to being all up in our faces in the most bizarre ways. At first, he was getting dragged by the LGBTQ community for the stint he pulled at Club Opium by basically queer baiting for a check. But as soon as this mess started to settle down, Julez basically said he wasn't ready to be done yet and popped out Baddies USA star Tommie Lee. Tommie Lee posted about their date to her Snapchat where Julez was giving her a piggyback ride.
My baby. So fine.
It's hard to be fine. I said it's hard to be fine when you got some money on your back.
Mind you, Tommie Lee is 41 years old, and Solange, Julez's mother, is 39 years old. So Julez dating someone older than his mother, and Tommie is messing with someone who was a newborn when she was 20 years old? Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Folks were out here talking about how this was nothing more than a PR stunt to finally put to bed all of the DL allegations that have been following him for a while now. Another thing is that Julez hasn't come out publicly with another woman since his relationship with Sky Jackson fell apart. And that basically was enough confirmation for the internet that this was just to improve Julez's image while Tommie was out there for the money. But if Julez was looking for a PR relationship this whole time, there are certainly a whole lot of other celebs that he could have gotten with that wouldn't cause as much of a mess as Tommie Lee. And if Julez wanted to clean his image, then getting together with Tommie Lee definitely was not the way to do it. So it was either the two of them were together for real, or Tommie was with Julez just for the clout and media buzz. But Tommie quickly came out to state that all of this wasn't real, saying, "LOL, this was fun. Hate to break it to you, I'm not that type of girl." But it looks like she really is that type of girl, because Tommie was caught tonguing Julez when they were in the car and later partying together at a nightclub. And y'all can see just how involved they are with each other. And that's when things started to turn nasty for both Tommie and Julez. Everyone was wondering what business Tommie had with Julez and exactly what these two were talking about when they were alone. And they are not exactly wrong. If the shoe was on the other foot and it was a man doing this, folks would have torn him a new one. But you can bet that the Knowles family group chat went crazy because this was one situation that no one saw coming or could explain.
But he didn't got around to messing around with Tommie from Love and Hip Hop. That woman is older than your mama and got 2 kids. got anger problems, and an arrest history. What exactly is you doing with this? I heard something about Blue Ivy bedroom getting exposed. I think the family forgetting who they related to. They forgetting the name that they need to uphold.
However, this is where things get messy. When the videos of Tommie and Julez started going around, viral, might I add, insiders were claiming that Solange wasn't really happy about the relationship given the massive age gap between them. Also, Tommie Lee isn't exactly someone that most people would describe as a stable person. She's always been in the public eye ever since she built her platform on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta before transitioning to other shows like Baddies USA. And if there's one thing that's consistent about her, it's that she is hot-tempered and always up for a fight and very confrontational. She has been arrested multiple times for alcohol and substance-related issues. And girl, Tommie even pled guilty to a child mistreatment case back in 2019. Her life was messy both on and off camera. So this isn't exactly someone that Solange wants her young son around by any stretch of the imagination. But when his mom spoke to him about what he was getting himself into with Tommie, Julez reportedly wasn't here for any of it. Solange was pregnant with Julez when she was 17, and his father was reportedly paid $1 million to marry her to help with the family image. However, that still wasn't enough to keep the family together. If there's one thing we know about Solange, is that she is a free spirit and she's always going to be doing her own thing regardless of what her family wants her to do. And that also applied to her relationship with Julez. Most of the heavy lifting when it comes to parenting him was left to Tina Knowles and his other grandparents, which explains why Julez was much closer to them. Solange allegedly spent most of her time ignoring him because she wanted to do more with her life than just be a mother. And the few times that she wasn't ignoring him, Solange failed to treat him right. This could also be why Solange never had other kids or her second marriage didn't work, because if she couldn't be there for her one child, then there's no way that she would have been able to stretch her time to care for others, allegedly. So if Julez turned out all right, it was all thanks to the support system that Solange had rather than Solange herself, according to reports. And now that he's an adult, he really isn't here for Solange suddenly trying to have a say in his life when she hasn't been consistently present. Solange also had a huge age gap with her ex-husband, Alan Ferguson, when she married him in 2014. So it would really be the pot calling the kettle black if she decides to speak out on him when she did exactly the same thing. Child, Julez is his mama's son after all.
Solange can't do nothing with Julez because the same man that she married that had y'all posing like Lego action figures at y'all weddings was 23 years older than her. Understand these are the sins of Matthew.
But whether or not Julez wants his mom to interfere, there's no denying that this whole relationship is a hot mess and probably a disaster waiting to happen. And folks who've been talking about it, they're saying Solange is already warming up that elevator swing. Tommie better keep Julez on piggy bank duty for a quick escape. Tommie really said age is just a number and then picked a very specific number. Tommie Lee seems just the kind of bird that would purposely get pregnant by Julez just to be attached to the Knowles family. But what I want to know is what you all think about this. Is this a PR relationship? And do you believe the allegations that Solange wasn't really there for her son as much as he wanted her to be? Sound off in the comments and make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, baddies.